This is the extension of yesterday's show, New Hawaii Wood, as part of the Urban Transcendence, Martin Despang's show. So since last time we had a little general introduction to the topic of thermally modified wood, as already implied, we have a chance now to be at one of the most leading institutions in the world that has been doing research in the field of thermally modified wood. So this is the Institute of Wood Technology in Dresden, Germany, and I'm standing here in one of the laboratories, which is usually a top secret area which has no public access. So this is a very, very kind of special opportunity over there. So I'm here during normal business hours, so that if there's a distraction every once in a while, please excuse. The first time I've been here was about a decade ago, and I was just impressed by all the artifacts in the round of wood. So I'm going to walk around and have a couple of shots here and there, giving you an idea about the atmosphere of this unique place in wood technology. So look around here, look at all the artifacts, all the pieces. You see the big testing microscopic equipment here to do the testing facility. So I'm going to stop here and I'm going to walk you guys over there to the other side. These are some test pieces here that have been affected by fungi and bacteria, which is some pretty impressive stuff here. Try to turn the camera down and over to give you some idea. So it's basically eating up the wood until it goes away, which is something that's unique of the building material wood, which is one of the reasons why people are suspicious of wood and don't trust wood as a building material, because it's biological and biodegradable. So that's why this institute is researching in first of all, the properties of wood and their potential to be affected by fungi and bacteria, and secondly, what kind of means and methods of protection could be applied to different species of wood. Here's some artifacts of actually wood products that are able to be tested as well, as we see pencils and ping pong rackets, and of particular interest here, who has seen Martin's show before and his expression of high declimization of Birkenstock architecture, we have a vintage model of Birkenstocks here. On the other side of this room here, we have this picture series, which is close-ups of microscopical close-ups of affected wood, which for me in part look like great pieces of photography art. In reality, for someone owning a building where that happens, it's pretty horrifying. So it's both at the same time. Here I found a pretty nice piece. It says brushed thermally modified wood. So this is a piece of pine wood, I suppose, softwood. Pine wood spruce, because we basically see a knot here in this area here. So what they've been doing is thermally modifying it so it gets a darker and richer color. At the same time, I suppose they had a wire brush and brushed the upper part of the board which gets the soft material of the wood out and the harder stuff stays, so it gets a very, very rich kind of textured look. And I guess the intent was to make that wood look older, more aged, because it's actually what happens naturally to wood when it's weathered, that the softer parts gets washed away by the rain and the elements, and the harder parts stay. So it's kind of a pre-aged stage of the wood. And here, which has always tremendously impressed me, this big display and shelves of samples of wood species from all over the world. Over here I see willow from Korea. This goes on and on and on and on. I have to ask the head of the institute, Dr. Scheiding, who we're going to interview, how many there are, and I'm curious if he knows. So I'm going to grab the camera and get a little up close with it so you can get a better idea. So this is where I found the willow. It says here on the side, so they're all labeled and numbered. And I see some which are affected by fungi or bacteria. So, impressive. Next thing we're going to visit the head of the department, Dr. Wolfram Scheiding. All right, so as already announced, we got this excellent chance here to have the head of the institute, of this department here especially, Dr. Wolfram Scheiding. So thanks for taking the time. You had a whole day. We had the 8th European Film Wood conference yesterday and today. Was an amazing event. Thank you very much. And you had conference participants after that, so we really appreciate you taking your extra time. I know your battery must be close to dead, so really much appreciate Wolfram. Yeah, why don't you share with the audience a little bit what this institution is and how long you've been here and what you're doing? That would be great.
Yeah. Our Institute for Wood Technology was founded in 1952. It has been the independent Institute for Wood Research in the GDR, in the former GDR, mostly dealing with wood-based panels, testing and development of wood-based panels, furniture, coatings, and so on. After the change, we were privatized and started with a reduced staff at that time, about 60 people, 60 employees we had. Meanwhile, we are above 100, and the business developed well, you can say. We are still engaged in wood-based panels, material development, new resins, new press processes, and so on. As well, we are dealing with surfaces, with coatings, glazes, varnishes, and so on. Testing and development of new, more environmental friendly products, reduced emissions of VOC, and so on. And one part is the outdoor application of wood. This is my department for biology, wood preservation. We are dealing with wood species, with properties of wood, with durability, and we have a microbial and mycological laboratory where we can test resistance against wood-destroying fungi, wood discoloring fungi, and as well the resistance of different materials against algae, bacteria. That's why we are also in interior uses. We make investigations on mold attack and prevention of mold on different materials, sealings, coatings, and as well wood is clear. And yes, and outdoor application means use of wood in use class 3, weathered or 4, in ground contact. And there we have some expertise, how to use wood in the right way, how to prevent damages, how to prevent failures or claims at least. And we are, since more than 12 or 13 years, we are engaged in wood modification, thermal wood modification. We have a known laboratory-sized kiln. Can make specific treatment procedures adapted to application. And by the way, we have good cooperation with companies, with suppliers of decking, facade, claddings, and other commodities to improve the product quality and to develop quality assurance and so on. Personally, I'm a forest engineer, and I've been working here since 1999, starting with some research projects on insulation, wood fiber-based insulations, but my most subject is outdoor application of wood.
Based upon my wish, we choose this impressive background here, which ever since I had the chance to be here the first time, which is almost like more than a decade ago.
Yeah.
So the first time I saw it, I was just impressed. And these are, tell me a little bit more, these are pieces from all over the world, right?
Yeah, lots of pieces. There is a rough number sorry, of about 6,000 wood species which are of a technical interest.
Wow.
And we have here about 2,000 wood species. It's a collection, or so-called cybertech, and yes, we use that in case of determination of wood species.
Like matching it? Sort of?
Yes, in case we have some literature specific and cross-cutting we investigate by microscope, and sometimes we need comparing sample and to determine which species. It's still of interest for the practice. Often the declared wood species are not the real wood species. Lots of products come from China to Germany. Chinese companies buy raw wood and make final products, and often not the declared or the contracted wood species within the product. And this is good for control of supply. Sometimes we can clarify claim also. And this determination of wood species has become a bigger importance now, since the European timber regulation was decided last year, and importers from wood outside the EU market have to specify and have to declare the wood species, and often we can support them to determine the wood species.
And whereas I assume in the GDR it was probably a state, a federal organization, and now it's a private institute, right?
Yes.
Privatized.
In the former times, this institute belongs to the industry, to the furniture industry and wood-based panel industry. And after the change, we are a non-profit private organization.
It's interesting. So, tell a little bit about what was your initial exposure? What got you excited about thermally modified timber? Is 12 years ago, I would say, probably roughly.
We started in 2002. We had a research project on playground toys made out of wood. At that time, sometimes after the change, a lot of new playgrounds were built. Lots of playground devices were elevated at these places, and a lot of things went wrong at that time, and we made a systematical investigation which constructions failed and which worked well. And at the same time, there was in the Netherlands the plato wood developed. It is a kind of thermal wood modification, and the oil heat treatment was OHT was developed in Germany, and at that time the first amount, as well from Finland, the first amounts of thermally modified timber came up on the German market, and we thought this could be one possibility to reduce the problems of the failures of these playground devices. And we investigated different industrial fabricated modified timber on their applicability for playground devices. And 1 year later, this project already did run. We started to organize the workshop on thermally modified timber, and after that time we run different research projects specifically for applications like windows, glulam, plywood, and windows, as I said. Different applications every time, concrete applications, and we tested the applicability of that new modified material.
I'm apologizing for coughing here. That's the reason, because different countries, different cultures. I have hay fever, a seasonal topic here, which I don't have in the tropics, which somehow I see a correlation to wood, because you have different circumstances of climate and soil, right? So how do you? You invited us to go outside to the testing facilities later on. Where you do field tests? Maybe you can talk a little bit how you do the tests and how you go in.
Normally, others who start, the durability against wood-destroying fungi is one of the basic properties of wood which is applied outdoors. It's clear. We have frequently wet conditions, weathering, UV radiation, and it is the question to determine the durability. But a real test, a valid test, is a field test. Sticks of wood, half a meter long, are engraved into the soil and left there after some years. And a testing material is compared to a reference material. We have a positive reference. It's a material with a very high durability, impregnated with a approved wood preservative, and we have a negative reference. It is wood with a very low, with a low durability class. And in comparison to these references, the years are counted until a stick fails after he is installed. This is a normal test to determine natural durability. This is a use class 4 in ground contact, frequently wet, and we run some other tests for use class 3. It means weathered, but not in ground contact. There are some other test methods in the field, but as well they take a long time, 2, 3, 4 years and much more. The industry doesn't want to have such long testing periods. They want to have a result at least within half a year, and that's why we provide laboratory tests which take 4 to 5 months. Little blocks of wood are put in a little vessel, and a fungus, a wood-destroying fungus, is applied on that, inoculated, and is growing around the wood. And after 16 weeks of incubation, the mass loss caused by the fungus attack is determined. And the lighter this specimen is, the heavier is the fungus attack, and the lower is the durability. And as well here we compare these test samples with some reference samples, and this test we offer it is in an accredited area. We are in an accredited laboratory and offer these lab tests. And it is possible to test different fungus species. We have in Europe some standards, and 2 or 3 fungus species are determined and required for that test.
Okay. You've basically started, if I'm correct, with solid wood, and more recently go into the more composite materials, right? So engineered lumber, the Americans call it, where it's glulam, it's plywood. Can you talk a little bit about that trend, so to speak? Where does that come from, and why is that of interest, and why do you think that development has gone the way it went?
Yes, engineered wood products are of a big and still increasing interest in Europe and in Germany as well. Often they are used in constructions where there is no direct weathering. That's why there are no real requirements on durability. This is a case of a good construction and a good wood protection by constructional measures and by the design. But as well, swelling and shrinking is a matter. There are recommendations on cracking and on swelling and shrinking and dimensional stability, and that's why on the one side engineered wood products are of interest because of their higher dimensional stability compared to solid wood, but as well some modification processes are of interest to improve that property. But as long as the design is good, the construction is good, we don't have an increased durability. But it is possible. We have run some tests on modification. It is possible to modify, for instance, OSB panels or plywood panels, and if you have an appropriate glue, the board is with an increased stability, reduced swelling and shrinking, and with sufficient strength. And it is in some projects we try to find out the right process to improve some properties and not to reduce some other basic properties of that. For instance, wood-based panels.
So you work with different industries and different manufacturers, right? There's the timber industry, basically, it's a big people, trading with wood and manufacturers. But there are also wood product manufacturer, right? Windows, for example, is a big business.
Yes, in principle, it's the window manufacturer is a big business. Unfortunately, at least in Germany, we have a low percentage of really wooden window frames, wooden windows. The real wooden windows are below 20%, I think 15 or 16%. There is an increasing amount on combinations wood and aluminium windows. On the outer side there is an aluminium shell, but the biggest part of the German window market is PVC. It covers about 80% of the market is PVC, and some percent are aluminium and steel frames. And we try to again increase the percentage of really wooden windows, and in that direction we offer a lot of tests, and we make research projects to use different frame materials, modify timber, new timber species, and so on. And we have to ensure, we have to prove that the properties are well, and the window built with that different wood species will perform well. This is a combination of years for the frame material construction, and then the serviceability of the properties of the window in the end. Timeless, airtimeless.
The Institute of Fensterbau and Rosenhaus to be consulted.
Yes, you are very strong on the market. I think they are the market leader in Germany for these issues, facade and windows and doors. But in principle, we offer the same service. We have a similar experience, but we are not so strong at the market. But we have some cooperation with them.
So where do you see the future of thermally modified wood? Will it be able to change? And when you come from the windows, it reminds me, I think traditionally the wood window was the window, right? It's the original window because there was no PVC. We're talking many hundred years ago. And then finally with, I guess, the industrialization and chemical industry. And I remember that my early childhood, the plastic window, as a more cultural way of saying it, PVC window, the plastic window was this kind of promise to the people of you never have to worry about it anymore, right? And then I remember that some people who bought white plastic windows were really unhappy because they did not age in grace at all. They basically kind of faded, they got kind of yellowish and looked really ugly. So people were not happy with that anymore. So there's the window industry, and through the thermally modified technology, you have a chance to kind of regain this kind of market position.
I think the window market, or the window frame market, is a big opportunity for modified timber because we have some properties which are improved compared to native or untreated wood. These are increased stability and reduced swelling and shrinking. We have an increased durability, increased resistance against wood fungi. If you have a good window, there is no hazard from fungi. But if you have some damages or a poor construction or poor design, poor fabrication quality, if you use modified timber with a higher durability, you have a backup, you have a reserve for safety. The third benefit or the third advantage is the reduced thermal conductivity. We have just this month, we have in Germany a new regulation. There's a regulation to save energy, to reduce the energy need for buildings, and they are as well requirements on the window frames is 3 times the rate harder to read. We have a disadvantage with thermally modified timber, it's strength, and we have to aware these wood I think some limits in the size of windows with big loads, wind loads, weight of the window. But in general, it is a very interesting market. We had a project on with the applicability of modified timber for windows, and we improved that you can produce high quality thermally modified. And still a potential on the wood, and the main argument of the customers to buy a window frame is no maintenance. There is nearly extreme long service life. In the real it's not the case, but the of the owner, they don't want to have maintenance effort 4 or 5 years or so. With a longer maintenance interval, this could be a benefit for the windows, and our expectation is that with modified timber
big market knows our forward.
Construction sector and the furniture